Hi, everybody. It's Friday, and I have a super busy weekend. 3 charters in a row, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So it's going to be busy. Let's see who's home today. Maybe some of you guys are out now. It's Friday. Things are easing up. Hi, Terry. Hey, Magic. I just got home. Was at the office today getting shows out, and then I had to run around and pick up some groceries and stuff, supplies. So I made it in time. A few minutes late, but I'm here. The Triton is here. Ooh. Hey, Jose. Hey, Kevin. Magic. Cool. So what else is going on here? So, Train, are you the guy about the drones? Are you a fishing vessel? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'd like to get a new drone. I need to get a drone once I get some money in. I want to get something that floats on the water. Oh, okay. Hey, Mario. So drones and rod wrapping. Oh, house maker. Yeah, I know who you are. Oh, Santa Monica Pier is now open for fishing. That's good to know. Let's see how long everything stays open. The way, I mean, it sounds like they're closing down Riverside County. Is that what I heard? Something like that. Like they want to. The spread's getting too fast. All right, let's do a quick check on the fish counts from today. What did they do? San Diego fishermen's had looks like they had a lot more local boats go out. More rockfish, bonita, calico bass, 7 yellowfin, 7 bluefin, 16 yellowtail. Point Loma had 40 yellowtail, 5 bluefin, 1 yellowfin. H&M had 116 yellowtail, 45 yellowfin, and 17 bluefin. That's pretty good. Seaforth had 43 yellowfin, 13 bluefin, and a bunch of inshore fish. Long Beach, no yellowtail. Lots of barracuda. Long Beach had 168 barracuda. That's a lot. Looks like the Sport King had a bunch of calicos, some whitefish, 5 barracuda, and 1 yellowtail. So I'm guessing Bruce was over at Catalina. San Pedro had 94 barracuda, 7 yellowtail. 15 white sea bass. I'd like to know where those were caught. They got to be one of the other islands. Sea landing, 550 rockfish and 6 whitefish. That's pretty good. Looks like the freelance did really good on the Barracuda today. The Victory did really good. 169 Barracuda for the Victory today. That's impressive. Western Pride. Looks like they were sculpin fishing. Patriot. 120 Barracuda. A lot of Barracuda. The Enterprise did really good too. That's cool. Good to see boats doing so good. Oh, yeah, Imperial County is closing. Yeah, it looks like Morro Bay did really good. They had a bunch of lingcod too. So David wants to know, what would I recommend first-time boat purchase for fishing local waters? It kind of depends, David, if you're going to run the islands or if you're just going to stay local, fish Long Beach and Huntington Flats and stuff like that. And if you want to get out of the weather, if you want someplace like a cubby cabin, if you got kids with you, if you need a bathroom. If it's strictly fishing, you probably want a center console boat. They're a lot less money, but I've always liked having a little cubby cabin, even if it's just to get out of the weather. That would be good too. But there's lots of different brands. And that old saying, you get what you pay for, is really true when it comes to boats. Oh, we got Hawaii here today. We got Nevada. Yeah, I have trips the next 3 days. Tomorrow I'm fishing. Really light load, only 2 people. The guy chartered the boat for just him and his buddy. And then we're fishing Catalina tomorrow. Then I have another trip on Sunday, another trip on Monday. 2 trips to the island and 1 local. Yeah, I try, and that's really good numbers on the Barracuda. And we caught a couple of really big Barracuda at Catalina on Wednesday, but they weren't as many as they're catching locally. On the Horseshoe and stuff, there's a lot of them. Barracuda recipes. There's probably some on my YouTube channel right here. Just look under the cooking stuff. Hello, Mr. Hernandez. Glad to see you recovered. Doing well. So Ricardo says, hey, Dan, went Monday to Cat, got small squid from nachos, no luck. Yellows, got barracuda, sheephead, calicos. Yeah, I don't think it's so much that. There's a lot of yellowtail around, but they're scattered. They're not really concentrated in one area. So you see boats on the back side, the front side. All the boats are just using sardines. I don't think anybody's using live squid. I think the only people buying live squid are the private boaters. But everybody's been fishing sardines. Part of the sardine thing is as you get into summer months, the fish really need the oil, the yellowtail, the calico bass. They need that oil for strength and to grow. So they want to eat the fin fish. They want to eat the sardines, the anchovies, the mackerel, stuff like that. Has oil in it. Squid doesn't have oil in it. So sometimes they really get on that fin bait. But all the yellows I've heard of caught on sport boats have all been taken on sardines. Ryan's going on 3/4 to Davies. I just hate the parking over there. It's such a hassle. Marcos, I don't understand your question. Bug pills? I don't know what that means. Harold, no, I didn't go out today. I was in the office today. Had to get TV shows out. I will be out on the water the next 3 days. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So J90, I don't know if they're going to close it down again. You know, I heard one county, I forgot what county it was in the news, that like 24% of the people that got tested had the virus. I want to say it was up in Northern California. And they're talking about locking that county down completely. So I don't know. Cool Arrow. Are you still doing raffles? Yeah, we're going to do raffles. I didn't get anything out today. I was busy working today. But next week, guys, we're going Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday and Thursday, twice a week for as long as I can survive, working at the office, filming shows, and doing private charters. So we will do Tuesday, Thursday. There might be some days that we might have to skip because I'm filming, but we will try to do Tuesdays and Thursdays for as long as I can. Hey, there's Jeff. He's at the airport. His fun is done. Did you do any business while you're here, Jeff, or was it all fishing? You got to sign up for one of my tuna trips, even though you have boats. You should join me. Have I ever caught a wahoo? Yes. I've even caught them on TV. Thanks, Jason. Well, you know, Jeff, your company can hire me to take your clients fishing. I'm sure the guys at, was it Space? No. I forgot what it's called. Space something, the guys you work with. They might want to meet me, go fishing with me. Hey, Lewis. Hey, Matthew. Tell your parents hi for me. Tyler is going to go fishing Seal Beach Pier tomorrow. If you want to go catch mackerel, I would say use a sabiki rig. If you want to catch halibut, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if you can go catch some live smelt somewhere. Maybe try that and fish them down deep. Or I haven't tried this there, but you can go to, was that Big Fish right there? I think they still sell ghost shrimp and lugworms. And you could try that in the surf area and try to catch corbina and surf perch. I'm sure they're in that area. Yeah, that Lloyd, the shrimp works really good for sheep's head. I think shrimp works better than squid. Yeah, if you guys want big fish tuna, keep them on your boat. I don't do that. Plus, my boat's way up in Long Beach. I'd never make it down to the border. Henry, you cannot use a throw net in California. You can't use a throw net. The only nets you can use to catch smelt are those umbrella nets, those big square nets, and you drop them down below the bait, and then you drop bread, and then when they cover your umbrella net, then you have to lift it up. That's how you can catch them legally. But throw nets, even though the tackle shops sell them here in California, they are illegal in California. And I don't know why they sell them, but I know there's quite a few stores that sell them. I see them when I visit. Matthew, why don't you join me on one of my Wednesday trips? We have the discounted trips. So Jeff says the tuna moved up. That's good. They're right on the border. So soon they'll be in U.S. waters. Then they'll be at Desperation. They're not at Desperation already? I thought maybe they're already up there. So Marcos, on twilight trips, the bucktails work great. I like to use the glow-in-the-dark color like this one. If I'm only fishing for one big fish, this is the bucktail I use, a 6 ounce. But if you're on a scope and bite and you want to get your fish and limit out, use 2 1 ounce B52 bucktails and glow in the dark, and they work really good. And you will catch a lot of sculpin, and they work good for the sand bass too. Luis, you must have been using a really small bucktail because whitefish has small mouths, probably ½ ounce, I'm guessing. Yeah, if you guys want to buy some bucktails, here's that save 20 code. And you might want to buy them soon if you need them for the season because some of them items we're running slow on. And I don't know if we haven't heard if our factory in China is back in full production yet. So last time we checked, they were really limited and they were just starting to reopen. So I don't know if they're back to normal yet. So if you guys really want them, use that code and get them during the week. Dan, do you sell your own tackle brand? If so, what is the website name? The only items that I really have, three things, is the B52 bucktail is mine. The Magic Metal Jig is mine. And the Magic Metal Light. These work out really good too for the surface. These are great for the barracuda that they're catching right now. MM7 works really, really good. Most of the barracuda that we've caught so far on my boat have been on that jig. They work out really good. So I would get that. Now the MM7 is only 3 ounces. One of my friends, Steve, was over at the office this week, and he put them on a scale and found out it was 3 ounces. The MM7 means how many inches it is. So this is a 7, and this is a 5. This one's 5 inches. This one's 7 inches. So that's what they mean. Okay. And for the size of these barracuda right now, throw the 7. And if you want to see where to get my lures, I'll put a link here for you guys. You just go to the TV show website, sport-fishing.com, and you can see it there. So here's a link for that. And then I don't know if you guys, if you, on my email list, you got the emails today about the trip on the Tradition we have coming up on July 12th. So if you guys want to join us on that one, we will be filming it for television July 12th. Our Twilight trip is all sold out for July. I'm looking to add one for August, but I'm talking to a couple of boats right now. Wow. Jeff said he threw an MM7 on kelp today, and he got sawed off, and he was using 60 pound. That's pretty impressive. I would have loved a picture of that. So Jeff, you're going to Cabo? I'll be down the East Cape July 30th through August 3rd. I'll be hosting a trip there. If you guys want to join me in the East Cape, you're welcome to just call the office and sign up and join me. It's a pretty good package. It's $780, and it's based on 2 people to a room, 4 people on a boat. 2 people to a room, 4 people on a boat. And that link I just posted there, you can see all 3 of the lures. You can see the Magic Metal Lights. You can even see the HD bucktails. They have a bigger hook on there, and they're designed for the halibut and the white sea bass and all that. Diego is going to Catalina tomorrow. Do I know where the best place to fish? Not really. I mean, I'll be there. You can find me there. I'll be fishing the front of the island tomorrow. But, you know, I've heard reports of people getting them on the backside. I know the water turned over there like Monday. It was kind of ugly. Wednesday when I was there, the weather wasn't too bad on the weather and the conditions were okay on the west end. But I haven't fished the backside of the island much. But I will be staying on the front side tomorrow. That's a nice lean cod, 33 pounder. Yeah, the color that Jose, the color that Jeff's been throwing is this green one. This is what he's been throwing for yellowtail down in Mexico, doing really good on. But the MM7, it sounds like he threw the same color on a cow patty today down in Mexico, and he got thrashed. Busted him off on 60. So it wasn't a yellowtail. Must have been a big tuna, a big bluefin. He threw the line. Yeah, Harold, I have caught wahoo. I caught him in Cabo. I've caught him in Central America. I've caught him East Cape. Caught him in San Jose do Cabo. Where else did I catch him? Nicaragua, Costa Rica. I think that's it. Yeah, I've caught him. I have pictures of him in some of my books that I've done. Yeah, Matthew, use that code and get a discount on them. You get 20% off on the bucktails. Now, who knows, Jeff? Maybe you found a wahoo. Maybe with the Dorado biting up here, maybe you got hooked into a wahoo. You caught a wahoo in the 150? Wow. I know they caught them a few years back at the oil rigs, but that's pretty good. Bobby, I always have the crew fillet the fish. Two reasons. One, they do it every day. Well, three reasons. Two, most of the money that the crew members make is what we call side money, and fish cleaning is part of the side money. They don't get paid very much to work the boat all day like they do. So they really live for the side money of cleaning fish and the tip money that you guys give them. So I do that. And really, if you don't get your fish clean and they sit in a gunny sack all day long, by the time you get home, they won't be any good. So you really need to get them cleaned out. So, I try to support the guys, so I always have my fish cleaned. I may not get them filleted like a white fish. I might get that just gill and gutted so I can deep fry the whole fish, cook the whole fish at another time. But other than that, I pretty much get them all filleted. Yeah, you guys need to tip the crews well. I mean, I have that problem on my charters where, we do a charter, we work really hard for the people, and then we get like a $25, $50 tip. And I just feel bad for my deckhand. I have to give them extra money. But that's possible. So what other questions do you have? Yeah, that's true, Lloyd. But I know a lot of people that take the fish guts and they bury them in the garden, dig a hole and make their flowers grow better. But it still does smell. Richard, what's going on in Long Beach? You were in Long Beach yesterday and you didn't see any fish being caught? Where were you? I mean, they're catching all kinds of barracuda. The bass fishing's really good. I mean, some of the boats had over 100 barracuda the last couple of days. You should have seen plenty of barracuda out there. Matthew, what's a decent tip to give? I would just kind of say treat it like a restaurant. You know, if you're happy with the service, 20%. If they went out of their way for you, you know, they did stuff that was above and beyond, maybe got you out under the anchor over the fish, you know, I would say 30%. But so Jeff says when they go on 16-day trips, the rule of thumb is $100 per day per crew member. That can be in the thousands. And Marshall, what are wide gaps? They're good for fishing with shrimp and for ghost shrimp and stuff. That's what those wide gap hooks are for, so that the shrimp and ghost shrimp can keep its shape. Well, Lloyd, if you're going to go on a 16-day trip, you got to have some money. And you have to be able to have the time to get away for that long. And you're going to spend a lot of money on tackle. And then you spend more money having the fish processed. Jeff, what do you do with all that tuna when you guys catch 200-pounders, 300-pounders? You don't fly it all the way home, do you? Or do your friends, just your customers, your clients, you take fishing, do they just keep it all? I mean, who cuts up all that fish? Okay. So Jeff donates most of his fish on 16-day trips. See, when you need big tax write-offs, you can do that. If you need more tax write-offs, Jeff, my nonprofit could use it. My youth foundation could use a donation. We are a 501c3. Or if you have some friends that have companies and they need donations, please have them think about our youth foundation. We're still trying to make up that like $3,000 or $3,500 with the stuff we had stolen in March. So there's a link for our youth foundation to do donations. Salty, no luck finding sponsors. Just everybody I talked to lately, they're still closed pretty much. My island marketing department, sales staffs are no longer working out of the offices. They're still at home. So I haven't had any luck. And everybody's complaining about sales being way off. I go into tackle stores and they're doing really good. I mean, the longfin's busier than ever. I was at Island Tackle the other day, and they told me they're doing really well. They have limited numbers of people they're letting in at a time, but they're saying that people are buying stuff, and they're not complaining about business being off, so that's good. But they did lose 2 or 3 months of no business. There's a handful of stores that stayed open that didn't close, and from what I'm hearing, they convinced the cities that they needed to sell worms and live bait like that to people that have birds and reptiles, and the cities let them stay open. So I guess more stores should have tried that. Yeah, I knew Jeff's Tackle. Yeah, I think it is closed down now. Thank you, Jeff. I can use any help you can get me. Yeah, I agree with Salty. If you guys can visit a tackle store to buy your tackle, do that, please. I know a lot of people just want the lowest price, but if you guys don't support your local tackle shops, they're going to go like Jeff's. They're going to go away. So you really need to support them. Texas closed down bars. That's going to get ugly. Yeah, I heard San Antonio and all them that they had a big spike. Salvador, hey Dan, what's the best way to fish your bucktails? It depends what you're fishing for. If here's a bucktail. So this same bucktail, I can catch sand bass, calico bass, halibut, lingcod, yellowtail. If I'm fishing for a lingcod with this, I'm going to put a long tail on it, like a double A single tail grub. If I'm fishing for sand bass, calico bass, I'm going to put a whole squid on it. If I'm fishing for white sea bass, fishing for halibut, I'll probably put a whole squid on it. If I'm fishing for yellowtail, I'll put a twin tail grub on it or a swim bait and work it that way and swim it more. So I use them, a bunch of different ways. Thanks, Kurt. Watches my show for years. Yeah, it's been 34 years I've been on TV. And I think to make it to year 35, I'm going to have to just keep doing private fishing charters because there ain't no sponsors out there. It's pretty hard to find them right now with everything closed down, places locking up. So I'm going to have to do more charters, see if I can keep it going that way. Maybe use a TV show to promote my private charters. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I saw a couple of mullas too when I was out going to Catalina. I saw 2 of them. They were laying sideways. Yeah, you guys really need to support your local tackle store, especially after this thing. I mean, the big box stores like Amazon, they did so well during March and all that stuff when everything was closed down, and everybody was just going straight to Amazon. So if you can support your little tackle store, I mean, even Turner's, who's like 20 stores in California, I'd rather buy stuff from Turner's than Amazon. You know, if you have a little independent store like Johnny's or Fisherman's Access, or any of those mom and pop stores, please support those guys. Please support them. And if you don't have something like that in your neighborhood, go to Turner's. They got plenty of tackle there. They're doing appointment only on the gun side, but if you go in there for fishing, they'll let you in. You just have to tell them at the front door that you're there for fishing. If you need line on your reel, or if you just need to pick up some jigs or hooks or something, you don't have to wait. But on the gun side, you have to make an appointment. Yeah, Johnny's in Pasadena. That's an awesome store. Bobby does a great job there. He just lost his mom about a month ago. So I'm sure he'd like to see you guys go in there and support him. Yeah, you want to buy as much as you can from your stores, local stores. I understand, Tyler, with Amazon, but a lot of the independent stores have those books too. So Jeff, you can handle that one. Anthony wants to know what's been working lately for the Bluefin and Yellowfin. So Jeff's fishing on his own boat. So I'm thinking he's probably using flyers and kites and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm not on his boat. But most of the school-sized fish you guys are getting are they're getting them on sardines and mackerel. And then a lot of the big tuna are caught at night using big jigs, flat falls. You can catch them on the magic metals, on the larger ones, 8-ounce, 10-ounce, going down deep. But most of the guys are fishing that big stuff at night. Yeah, Bobby's. Johnny's is in Pasadena. I think right now they're still only open on Thursdays, but I would call them and find out. Yeah, Angler's Choice is a great store. Luke has a great store down there. Tyler, you should visit some other stores just to get an idea of what other stores are like. I mean, if you want to support Fisherman's Hardware, great store. Jim does a great job, but you should visit, some other stores too. I don't know why Big Fish is set up like they are, where everything's behind the counter. I don't know if they had lots of stuff stolen there over the years, the different owners. That's how they're set up. There isn't much you can physically see and touch in that store. Most of the stuff is all behind the counter. But I like in the stores I can see stuff and touch stuff. Yeah, Jeff's talking about the stores in his area in Illinois. So Jeff's using dead flying fish for his tuna. So are you fishing that on a kite or balloon? Just depends on the weather. Yeah, Fred. Rusty Hook is a great store. Alex is a great guy, and he carries our bucktails there. Johnny's carries our bucktails. Anthony, what do I recommend for a good iron rod? Like throwing a surface jig? I mean, there's lots of rods that'll work. A 540 used to be my favorite rod, but it's a big, heavy rod. A J90, it was good for the lighter stuff. Um, but, there's a bunch of different manufacturers that make them now. You might want to look at Turner's and see what they got in that Californian series. They're just a lot less money than buying a Phoenix rod, and it's still a Phoenix blank. So it just depends, what you want. But I wouldn't go anything shorter than 9 feet. I mean, when I was younger and threw jigs all the time, everything I used was 10-foot rods, 540s and stuff like that. But most of the stuff I throw now would be like a 9-foot or 8-foot rod. And my 8-foot rods I use a lot, and I throw the Magic Middle Lights, same rods that I use for my TV filming and for my private charters. And a lot of that's the California rod by Turner's I use. So Jeff, you're using a drone for fishing? That's different. That's good, Tyler. He's in a bunch of stores. So Bobby wants to know, is high-end tackle necessary for average price? I like the Penrose a lot better when they were made here. Now everything's made overseas. But it's kind of like you get what you pay for. There's some Akuma stuff that is priced lower than Penn. That's okay to use. There's some Penn stuff that's really good. There's some Avid stuff that people really like. Daiwa makes good reels too. Just kind of depends on your budget and what you're looking for. But, don't buy something cheap if you think you're going to go fish for 200-pound tuna. You got to really spend the money. So Tyler, if a guy he's a race car driver, he's out looking for sponsors, but he wouldn't be sponsoring my show. He'd be looking for people like Bass Pro and other people like that to sponsor him. But thanks for the thought. Matthew, Mr. Dan, will halibut eat bugtails? Yeah, they will. I've caught lots of halibut on them, but again, I'm putting squid on them. And normally I'm fishing them for white sea bass. But if you're going to fish them strictly for halibut, you could even put strips of mackerel on there and just slow bounce them on the bottom. And the key is you got to work them close to the bottom. Hit the bottom, come back up. Don't just drag them on the bottom. You got to make them move around. David, does Save-On carry bucktails? They used to carry them, but they haven't ordered any in a long time. So I don't know if they have any left or they ran out. But I haven't had any orders from them. So if you're in Save-On, tell them you want bucktails. If you're in any of your local tackle stores, please ask for bucktails. I'd like to see if I can get in more stores. April. Nobody's seen you yet today. Come say hello. See, she makes an appearance. She's thinking about it. She's in the chum line. And something spooked her. Come on, April. Come on. Eat that. Let's see. I bought her nicer bones, and she doesn't like them. She likes the cheap Costco bones. See, she doesn't like them. I spent extra money to get her nicer bones, and she doesn't like them. I was telling my mom that. She said she didn't understand why she didn't like the better ones. And I told her, if you eat at McDonald's every day, that's what you want. So she doesn't like these. She'll come back and eat those like in the middle of the night when she's hungry. But as a rule, she won't eat them. Hey, Warbaits. So what else is going on? So Raspberry wants to know, are people catching yellows locally? They are catching a handful of them locally. There's no wide open bite on the yellowtail here. It's not like at the Coronado Islands where they're getting, 50 to 100 a boat, but not down here. So Jeff, are you in the lounge enjoying this? Or are you waiting to get on the plane soon? Let's see, line. Yeah, Warbase is here. If you guys haven't tried them, you should try them. They work really good. Maybe we get Warbaits to send us some stuff to give away in the raffle. Okay, GravTech. Yeah, I don't know anything really about GravTech rods, Raspberry. Sorry about that. But, that's something, again, go visit your local tackle store, ask the guys, pull on some fish. And when you talk to somebody in a tackle store, find the guy who's actually caught tuna. Don't talk to the guy who only fishes largemouth bass or bluegill. Find the guy that fishes tuna. Jeff, do you remember an old tackle shop in Anaheim called Tackle Box on Ball? Sounds familiar. Who owned it? Do you remember? I think I do remember it. Yeah, Dana probably got 5 yellows. They weren't up here. They were down between Oceanside and Dana Point, but they weren't out here. They might have even been in Catalina. I don't know. I haven't checked where they were fishing. Yep, that makes sense. They're at Barn Kelp. No, Jeff, I will not gaff April. Will repainting your surface jigs kill the action? I don't think so. I see people paint them all the time. I think sometimes they get bit better if you don't touch them. But no, I don't think it'll hurt the action. I've seen people take jigs that they buy and add, red to them or other colors, and they still catch fish. Tyler, I have been Aloha Tackle, but I don't know exactly like everything in there. Yeah, Warbaits would be a good sponsor for me. I'll cut a 200 catch these school size yellow. Yeah, I would think it'd be fine. Let's see what else is here. So Brandon says, "Hey Dan, we had 83 yellows on the Thunderbird 2 Fridays ago. Probably like 230 fish. You guys just wow." So they lost over 100 fish. Were you guys at San Clemente, I'm guessing? So double A's going on the Excalibur tomorrow. That's good. Yeah, they're catching a lot of yellowtail, so that should be good. Yes, Tyler, I finished my fishing room. I'm going to have to do a show on there. Maybe next week I can do a show from there. Doug. Do I fish for bluefin tuna? Yeah, but not on my boat. I mean, I will fish for them if they come off Catalina. If they're like between Catalina and Clemente, I'll take my boat and go look for them. But where Jeff is fishing, he's leaving out of San Diego or Dana Point and heading into Mexico. And he even had a boat. I'm not sure it was his boat or his friend's boat that they were leaving out of Ensenada. But he says that the fish have moved up, that they're right at the border now. So that's pretty good. Yeah, if they get up this way, they get up toward Catalina, I'll go look for them. So warbaits, Dan, biggest sand bass story, size, bait, location, etc. You still think? Yeah, my biggest sand bass we got on my boat on a charter was like 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago, right off the breakwater. Had a family for Father's Day, some little kids. They didn't want to go too far offshore. And we started the horseshoe. We went to the breakwater, and we were anchored up there. We're catching little calicos, little sand bass. I think we even got a small yellowtail that day. And we started getting harassed by thresher sharks, and they were biting our fish and breaking our lines. So I told my deckhand to tie on, what was the big piece, like 6 foot long wire leader with a 9/0 live bait hook, big hook. And we put it on a 50-pound, 40-pound rod and put a whole mackerel, live mackerel, pin it on, lift it out the bow, and just catch one of those threshers. And it didn't catch a thresher, but it caught just barely under 10-pound sand bass. And that's how we caught it. But that's how we got that one. Yeah, there's still big sand bass out there. Some nice big calicos. Yeah, salty. If you're going to be fishing for big tuna, you're probably not going to be tying knots. Probably be crimping them on. And you're going to be using heavy leader, 200-300-pound leader. Let's see what else. Pier went to San Clemente Island, yeah. Yep. All right, guys. It's been over an hour. I still got to get ready for my charter tomorrow. Make some dinner. Relax a little bit before I have to get to work. So, Marshall, how many years did you make? I didn't make all-star rods. They were made by Shakespeare. Shakespeare made them. And then was it American Premier also made some with my name. What's for dinner? Have some leftover spaghetti I'm going to heat up. Jeff, tomorrow I'll be at Catalina. I will be at Catalina. I think a couple of you guys said you're going to be on your own boats tomorrow. If you want to call me on 16, the name of the boat's Mi Sueño. So you can call me on 16 and then we can go to another channel. But I will be at Catalina tomorrow. All right, guys. Good night, everybody. Remember, next week it's Tuesday and Thursday. No more Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So next week we're going to go Tuesday and Thursday. And I want to thank you guys again for subscribing to my app. We've got quite a few people doing it now. Here's a link to it again. It's like $1.99 a month, something like that. So I really appreciate it. All right, guys. Good night. Talk to you on Tuesday. Bye.